Almost 3 years have passed since President Gloria Macapagal Arroyo dragged the nation into an unjust war under the pretext of combating terrorism around the world. Despite the United Nations' refusal to sanction this US-led war, the Philippine government joined the Coalition of the Willing, a coalition that vowed to render full support on the war in Iraq. President Arroyo sent a 51-member contingent last year. Until now, the so-called threat by Iraq in producing weapons of mass destruction remains imaginary. The target terrorist groups are still on the leash, while countless lives of Iraqi civilians were already taken. Now comes the price for President Arroyo's bootlicking strategy to win the approval of the U.S. administration.
Buhay pa rin si Angelo dela Cruz at dalawa pang Bulgarian na bihag ng mga rebeldeng Iraqi. Base po yan sa pahayag ng Interior Ministry sa Iraq.
The unjust war on Iraq victimizes Angelo dela Cruz, a 46-year-old truck driver from Pampanga and a father of 8 children. Angelo dela Cruz was abducted by the Islamic Army of Iraq, threatening to behead him if the Philippine government refuses to pull out its troops. President Arroyo's administration has ordered a news blackout after giving out inconsistent reports on its resolve to save the life of Angelo dela Cruz.
Tayo po ay naging saksi kung paano ang katotohanan ay napapalakot at napapalaki ang mga hindi totoo dito sa ating pamahalaan.
Maging ang nag-iisang pahayag ng mga opisyal dito sa Maynila, tipid na tipid din.
Sa puntong ito, Vicky, waiting game pa rin nga tayo, ika nga, para sa kaganapan tungkol dito sa kaso ni Angelo dela Cruz.
Youth militant organizations joined protest actions led by Bagong Alyansang Makabayan and Migrante International calling for the immediate pullout of Filipino troops in Iraq.
Ilan pa ang ilalagay sa panganib katulad nito na ang kanyang pamilya ay hindi na makatulog sa paghihintay kung ano ang kahihinatnan ni Angelo dela Cruz.
Ito ay nagtitipon sa hapon ito upang ipagdasal ang ating kapatid sa Iraq na kasalukuyan ay hanap ng ilang grupo doon nakahampang puhunan ng ulo.
During a prayer rally, the protesters faced the wrath of the administration's dispersal team consisting of armed policemen and individuals wearing civilian clothes. Protesters were beaten up with truncheons and were later dispersed with water cannon. 20 rallyists were injured and 4 were arrested. The Arroyo administration is now said to have agreed in pulling out its 51-member contingent 1 month ahead of schedule. But until Angelo is seen safe back in our country, militant organizations will continue to march calling for the end of the Philippine government's support for the unjust war on Iraq that threatened the life not only of Angelo but the rest of the migrant workers in the Middle East who was forced by the economic crisis to leave the country.
Ilason mo ang aming kaisipan. Ang hanap ko ay tunay na pagkatao. Ang hanap ko ay tunay na pagkatao. Ikaw ang nagmula ng digmaan sa bayan ko. Di ko na kailangan manatili ka pa rito.